Hey guys, I'm Pratima and this is the all-new CMF Phone 2 Pro that was launched a few weeks ago for 19,000 rupees. And for the price, this isn't the fastest phone, this isn't the phone with the best battery life either, so why the hell am I even reviewing this phone? Well, because this phone has a couple of features that no other phone has at this price range, which could be enticing for a lot of people. So make sure you stick till the end to find out the pros and the cons of the CMF Phone 2 Pro. Alright, so I have been testing the CMF Phone 2 Pro for the past 10 days alongside all the other devices that you can get under 20,000 rupees right now. And one thing that immediately stands out here is the design and the cameras of this phone. So last year, Nothing introduced this sort of a modular design on the Phone 1 that created quite the buzz. This year, you can't actually change the entire back panel. Rather, what you can do is you can unscrew the screws and add an additional cover for the accessories like this. And I think I like this implementation better for two reasons. Number one, Nothing is able to bump the IP rating from IP52 to IP54, so we get better splash resistance here. And number two, a lot of people reported frequent damage to the back panel on the Phone 1 because of all the screw-unscrew action, and the extra back panels were quite expensive, so users would be spending a lot of money for the thrill of modularity, which will not be the case anymore. Anyway, you still get a plastic back here like last year, but nothing has worked on the build quality this time. The CMF Phone 1 felt a bit cheap on my hands, but this one feels more premium to hold. Nothing has also trimmed the bezels a bit this time, so from the front too, the phone looks quite modern. What I'm extremely happy about is the bump in the camera specs. Last year, we only got a main camera setup and a useless 2-megapixel depth sensor, but this year, you get an additional 2x telephoto lens and an ultra-wide sensor, which is so good to have in a budget phone. And I have been more than happy with the camera performance on the CMF Phone 2 Pro. First of all, I have loved the portraits from its telephoto lens. They do have a warm tone with a little hint of extra contrast, but I love the subject focus, the background blur and the skin tone. The images don't get overexposed even when you shoot in scorching sun, and you can even zoom to 4x without losing much detail, so that's great too. The selfies have a pinkish tone like the portraits, but again, it looks good, so no complaints. And with the recent update, the color consistency has also been improved in the photos, and there used to be a little lag while processing portraits, which has been fixed to some extent, so I am happy about that too. Even the main camera here has good color reproduction like 90% of the time. That remaining 10% is when the camera goes overboard with warm tones and overcompensates highlights, but other than that, the details are good, the dynamic range is well preserved, and overall you get nice pictures from the CMF Phone 2 Pro. In fact, I did share some samples from it on Twitter and most people had good things to say about it. The only thing that I would call out in terms of camera performance is, first, the CMF Phone 2 Pro isn't able to handle bright lights very well at night. Like normal nighttime photos are detailed and nice, no issues, but as soon as you're shooting bright things, it's not able to process them. And the next thing is that its ultra-wide camera's performance is only okay, nothing extra, especially during the night. Also, the color difference across all the lenses is quite distinct. Videography-wise, I won't complain, at least when it comes to the main camera. The footage at 4K 30fps is considerably stable thanks to EIS, and even from the front and the ultra-wide camera, the stabilization isn't exactly an issue, but do note that there is no option to shoot at 4K from both the lenses, just 1080p. In any case, I would say that the CMF Phone 2 Pro has a versatile set of cameras for the price, especially against its competition like the iQOO Z10 and the Narzo 80 Pro, which don't even have ultra-wide cameras. And CMF also has a history of providing updates quite often, so we can expect tiny bug fixes in a timely manner too. Talking of updates, I have received 2 updates on this phone so far, fixing minor performance and a few camera issues I talked about earlier. For a relatively newer company like Nothing, the software support that they are able to provide even in their budget offerings is quite commendable. Here too, Nothing has promised 3 years of OS and 6 years of security updates, which I think is more than enough. And except Motorola and Samsung, Nothing is only one of the companies that ships their devices with almost zero bloatware apps, so you are getting a cleaner experience on this phone too. Also, Nothing OS itself is quite interesting to use. It looks quite unique. You have a ton of customization options, especially with widgets, and it's quite refreshing to use, honestly. If you're someone who likes minimalism, you will appreciate what Nothing provides here. And not to forget, there's also this essential space feature that you can access via this button right here, where you can save your voice or text notes with screenshots, which a lot of people find quite intuitive, but I didn't make much use of it, to be honest. Okay, when it comes to the performance, you get the Dimensity 7300 Pro chipset here, which is not all that different from the Dimensity 7300 that we got on the Phone 1. So, as I said in the beginning, this is not the fastest phone in the segment, but even so, you will get smooth everyday performance and considerably good gaming performance from this phone nonetheless. You can play games like PUBG and Mobile Legends here in 90 FPS without much stuttering. I even played Genshin Impact in high settings and 45 FPS mode, and I was able to get an average of 40 FPS, which is not bad for a budget phone at all. Although I have to tell you, while the stability in games was good, the temperatures reached above 40 degrees in most of the games I played, and considering it's not even peak summer yet, there are chances that things might escalate. Moving on, I like the display experience on this phone a lot. This is a really bright screen. It's the same display that we get on the Nothing Phone 3A, so it's equally bright and the quality is top notch too. This is also a 10-bit panel versus 8-bit we got on the CMF Phone 1, and it is able to play local HDR videos and even HDR videos on YouTube really nicely. There is no HDR playback support on Netflix on this phone though. Nothing has also improved the haptics this time. Last year, I complained about the buzzy vibration on the Phone 1, but this year, typing on the Phone 2 is actually a pleasant experience. I only wish the company had provided stereo speakers for a better multimedia experience on this phone though. Not only the stereo effect is missing here, but this single speaker sounds horrible at the highest volume, totally distorted. It's not a problem while casually watching movies and all, but if you listen to a lot of music, I would recommend you don't slide the volume to more than 85 to 90%. But except for the speakers, I won't complain about the overall experience on this phone. It surprisingly has really good battery life, even though it only has a 5000 mAh battery. I was able to get straight 8 hours of screen on time here, or even 9 hours on some days with light usage. Obviously, the backup on this phone is not as good as something like the iQOO Z10 with a 7300 mAh battery that gave me like 12 hours of screen on time, but the Nothing Phone 2A Pro will last you an entire day even on heavy usage, so you can give it the benefit of the doubt, I guess. Plus, good news is that this time you get a 33-watt charger inside the box that takes the phone from 0 to 100% in 1 hour and 10 minutes. But do note that Nothing only ships the charger with the Indian units of the Phone 2 Pro. Globally, there is no charger inside the box. Okay, so considering all the pros and cons of the CMF Phone 2 Pro, do I recommend this phone? Yes, absolutely. It's quite a balanced offering for the price. It has a cool design, it has versatile cameras, a nice bright display, acceptable performance, and more importantly, a clean software experience, which is very rare in this price range. The only big letdown about this phone is the single unbalanced speaker. It is just so disappointing. So if you want a better multimedia experience, there are better options with stereo speakers and bigger batteries like the iQOO Z10 and the Realme Narzo 80 Pro. But overall, the CMF Phone 2 Pro is definitely a worthy device for the price. Alright everybody, that was all for my full 10-day review of the CMF Phone 2 Pro. What do you think about the device? Do let me know in the comments below. And while you're there, please do not forget to subscribe to our channel. Saying this, I'm Pratima and thank you so much for watching.